Welcome back to the channel. This is Carl from Sovcits and Chronicles. Hope everybody's having a great day. Today, we're going to be in a courtroom of Jessica Hammond out of Genesee County, Michigan. She's going to be dealing with a sovereign citizen who's pro se, or shall I say, he considers himself sui juris. And I'll give you the definition of that at the end of this proceeding, but it kind of means the same thing. It still means self representation. All right. So, with all that being said, let's get to this proceeding.
All right, looks like we're set to go. Okay, I'm going to call Mr. Sixby's case first because I know that he is here and he is ready to go.
Thank you.
You are welcome. All right, and so this is case number 25T01947FY, People of the State of Michigan versus Robert Wayne Sigsby. And counsel, you can place your appearance on the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Mitchell Young for the people.
And Mr. Sigsby, you can state your name, please.
Robert Wayne Sigsby.
All right.
Executor, beneficiary, kind of formal.
All right. And we are here today on a probable cause conference. We had a hearing on July 31st. At that point, Mr. Sigsby had stated that he was wanted to represent himself. We had a long conversation about that at that time. And I did determine that Mr. Sigsby would be permitted to represent himself and that Attorney Hilliker would no longer be appointed on the case to represent Mr. Sigsby. And so then at that time, Mr. Sigsby, you stated that there was some more discovery that you were looking for, body cams and some other things. And so we adjourned to today's date. And then we find ourselves here today. So on that note, Mr. Sigsby, do you have all the discovery that you were looking for?
I do not. I wanted to confer with the prosecutor and I had more paperwork to turn in and I worked tirelessly to get the paperwork in. I got it in. There was no more overnight mailing. So I got it in on Tuesday. I don't know if the prosecutor, David Layton, had received the add-on to the paperwork. I see this prosecutor here has zero paperwork in front of him. So he didn't even get the first paperwork or all of it was sent in. I don't know, Mr. Prosecutor, did you receive any paperwork?
I think they do everything they have a system called Carpel where they do everything digitally. So if he does have a digital file with your paperwork in it, probably
It looked like this.
I believe, Attorney Young.
Your Honor, I'm unaware of anything that was given to our office. My understanding is that Attorney Hilliker provided all the discovery that we gave to him to Mr. Sigsby. And from there, he has everything that we have at this time. We did provide Attorney Hilliker the body cam of Officer Isaiah Voorhees, and that is all I have in regards to body worn camera at this time.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to be respectful.
Thank you.
So what I said in the last PCC, seeing as how we don't have a Fifth Amendment indictment here, we're going through this process. I feel it's very constitutional not to have an indictment. There was supposed to be body cameras from the other officers, roughly between 9 and 12. I could hardly count how many police were there because of what has happened on the side of the road. It would exonerate me if I had different views of the behavior and the actions of the arresting officer in this civil infraction.
All right. So
The fruit of the poisonous tree has been definitely happened.
Your Honor, if I may, I'm obviously not an expert on the facts of this case as I'm just covering today, but my understanding is that the body cam of the arresting officer was provided, being Isaiah Voorhees.
If I may.
okay. Well, hold on. Let me ask a question. So on that one body camera of the arresting officer, do you have that, Mr. Sigsby?
I do.
Okay,
And
so
what-
you have the one. It's just the other ones that you
Right.
want. Okay.
Exactly, because what the deputy did is he concealed his he put his body camera on this side of me and blocked it while he reached into my bag and into my pockets. I was cuffed. And he reached in the pocket. I looked down and seen him pull out my Native American herb. And then he stuffed it back in my pocket. But I thought he took it with everything else and threw it into the vehicle. So that right there would exonerate me that I did not bring nothing into the jails. He did.
No malice.
Okay, nope. Mr. Renfro, you don't have any standing to talk, so I'm gonna let you stand there, but that is all I'm gonna let you do. You can't say any words today.
I am appearing next, friend.
You are not, because that is not permitted by the Michigan court rules. You can stand there, like I said, I'll let you do, but if you keep talking, I'm gonna make you sit down, and then if you don't follow those rules, I'm gonna have those nice gentlemen back there escort you out of the room,
Thank you.
okay? So, remember, my rules, my court, it's just how it works. Okay.
Objection. I'd like to have an objection.
Sure.
The definition of court here is the person in suit of the sovereign, the place where the sovereign sojourns with his regal retinue. This is my retinue. Black Law's Dictionary is cognizable by the Congress.
All right, this is the 67th District Court. I'm the judge of the 67th District Court, and that's all I'm gonna say about that, okay? So whatever that objection is, it's overruled. Okay, let's get back to the issue at hand, though. The issue at hand is that Mr. Sigsby would like some additional body camera footage. Attorney Young, I know that you weren't here, last time on this case, right? It was a different, I think it was Attorney Trummer, I think.
I believe so, Your Honor.
All right.
It's either him or Attorney Bokrackus.
So here is what I'm going to say today, what I'm going to order today is I do think that it is relevant, and I think that it is pertinent if there are other body cameras available of officers that were there on scene, then I do believe those need to be turned over to Mr. Sigsby because I do find them to be relevant. And I think that it's not unreasonable to want those things prior to the preliminary examination. So I am going to order that those be turned over. I'm also going to state, though, that the discovery is what the discovery is. And so sometimes there are situations where people think there is additional discovery that does not exist. So if there is 5 body cameras, then there's 5 body cameras. And if that's what the prosecutor's office says that that's all they have, then that's all they have. So we're gonna order that everything the prosecutor's office has needs to be turned over. If there are additional body camera, they need to get that and they need to turn that over. But we're not going to continue to have a conversation over and over again about discovery that needs to be, or that discovery that Mr. Sigsby you think might exist that doesn't exist. So when we come back next time, I'm going to expect the prosecutor's office to turn over everything they have, and then we will move on to the preliminary examination phase, because we got to start moving this case along at some point.
So Michigan.
Hold on one second. Attorney Young, how long do you think it will take your office to get that additional information for Mr. Sigsby?
Seeing that this is the Genesee County Sheriff's Office, I should be able to get it relatively quickly. However, the videos would need to be reviewed prior to release. I'm thinking 2 weeks would be more than enough time. I could probably do it if I'm lucky by the end of this week, really, to get them. So I'll leave it to the court and I'll get it done. But I'd say either a week or 2.
Right.
Mr.
Mr. Sigsby?
So the problem I have is, a couple of them, is one, Michigan State Constitution says I get to confer with the prosecuting office. I'd like to do that.
Sure.
And then another thing is, on a scene such as that one, you'd think every one of these cops would have, police officers would have their body cameras running. So if he wants to look at them ahead of time and said there is none, no evidence, I'd say that was conspiracy against my rights at that time under United States Code 18 U.S.C. 241.
But we're not even there yet.
I get it.
You know what
I
mean?
get it.
So-
But okay, the video I got, there's a chunk in there where he says if this man would have been by himself, I would have, and it went blank. You can see the lips moving, but you can't hear nothing. So the editing process is taking away exculpatory evidence.
Those are things, so
If he
Those are
threatened
the
me with
things-
death,
those are the things, whatever happened, those are the things that get brought up in front of the jury. You can bring them up in front of your preliminary examination as well, but they get brought up in front of the jury to show weight of evidence. If you're claiming there's evidence that's missing and things like that, those things absolutely can be brought up. It's just that we're not going to prevent having a preliminary examination by saying that you think that there's evidence out there that they're saying that they don't have. Do you see what I'm saying? So once they say, this is all we have, these are all the cameras, then we are going to have the preliminary examination. That's all I'm saying. So we're going to give you time to do that though, and give you time to talk to the prosecutor's office
Sure.
once you have that information. All right. So having said that, let's pick a date for the next court date. I think Attorney Young, you're right. I think to get the information to Mr. Sixby and then give Mr. Sixby and the prosecutor's office, everybody time to review everything and then give the parties time to talk if they want to. I think that setting this for one more probable cause conference, I will find good cause to do so. I do think that's a good idea. And I'm looking at September 4th. Does that sound like a good day to everyone?
well, I'd like to get 21 days so I could send the prosecutor a proper notice of non-response.
That is appropriate.
Oh, you got good math.
Do you want, I can give you a little bit, we can put it on the 11th.
Well,
if you want. can give
I
you a
would
little
like it on the 11th. The reason being because I'm going to send a bill of particulars. If this county does not recognize Fifth Amendment indictment, then they're going to have the bill of particulars because without that, the substantive due process has been violated on its face. There is no indictment on this felony charges, and it is the fruit of the poisonous tree. So I'm concerned that the Constitution of the United States is not being followed on its face by all
Yeah.
parties.
Here's
It's a
what-
point of order.
So
Point of order is a real, what, I got to get it out of the law book again?
I've looked at Mr. Sixby, I've looked at everything that you filed. In fact, not only have I looked at it, I've highlighted it, and I've even made my own notes.
I see you.
So please know that I do read everything that's put in front of me and
That's
I
blessed.
take it seriously.
Thank you.
But a lot of what you filed is not relevant nor pertinent nor accurate law in any way. And a lot of it too, it's not filed properly in the sense of this. You have to file it as a motion. So if you do have a motion, we'll hear your motion at the next court hearing, okay? But it has to be filed as a motion. For example, some of these things like judicial notice of adjudicative facts, notice and demand to cease and desist inland piracy.
I'm not an attorney.
Hold on. I'll let you say it when I'm done. It's nonsense. It's nonsense and I'm not gonna address it. Notice of document filing, things, affidavit of truth. One thing I did want to point out to you, you filed your birth certificate in this file. This is a public file. So people could go and get a copy of your birth certificate because it's right here in this paperwork. I would have not done that. I'm not giving you legal advice in any way, but that just doesn't seem like that's a good idea. I just wanted to point that out to you because when I saw that, I thought, that's not. I also have this appearance of next friend and these things they're just not.
There's
They're
Supreme
not-
Court.
Hold on, stop. I'm gonna let you say those things in just a second. They're not permitted under the Michigan court rules. There's no statute that permits things like this to be filed, and frankly, there's not going to be. I'm not going to spend a lot of time addressing them because they're not relevant to these hearings in any way. I just wanted to let you know that.
I object on the record, be reserved on the record to correct the record. The Supremacy Clause of the United States does bind you to all of this. Article 6, Clause 2, you're in breach of that clause for saying Michigan does not recognize these. You guys are foreign citizens. Title 28, 22, United States Code, Foreign Relationships and Intercourse. Chapter 11 identifies all public officials as foreign agents. Federal Rules of Civil Procedures 4J states that all courts, jurisdictions, and immunities fall under foreign state. 22 CFR 92.12-13, foreign relationships state an oath is required to take office. The 11th Amendment, foreign citizens cannot invoke the judicial powers of the state. 28 USC 3002-15-8 defines the United States means a federal corporation. Michigan is a franchise, and so is this subdivision is a franchise of federal corporations. Corporations have no parity with the tangible in Howard versus Dolan's administration. Governmental actors are foreclosed from creating and attaining parity with the tangible. These are res judicata, Supreme Court laws of the land. Now, I'd say that was treason on its face. The judge has just committed.
Yeah.
Well,
I've been accused.
I'm a living man.
Stop. I'm talking now. I've been accused of committing treason before, not committing treason. Everything you just said is nonsense and it is not applicable in this court. We're going to leave it at that. We have a court date now set for September 11th, 2025 at 11 o'clock a.m. That will be a probable cause conference. We will be, hold on, let me see where we'll be. We will be back here in Burton on that day. So we'll be here in Burton. For probable cause conference. Any motions that anyone wants to file, try to get filed by that time, though I'm not doing motion cutoff or anything of that nature, but it'd be a good time for us to discuss those things. We're not going to discuss any of this again because I have addressed it and found it to be irrelevant to this criminal case today. And anything else from anybody?
I do.
Yes, Your Honor, just briefly. As is our typical office policy with pro per defendants, I will, once I have the body cam for Mr. Sigsby, I'll have it on a flash drive and I'll hand deliver it to him in court at the next court date. It seems to be the best way to give that discovery. Unless there's another idea.
Can he pick it up at like a clerk's office or something like that?
I don't see why not.
The problem is that we're gonna adjourn it out almost a month. And
Yeah, I don't see why
we're gonna have
not.
to adjourn it again for him to review it, so I don't like that idea.
And I guess I just don't know how I would, well, I think Mr. Hilliker gave us his address. I don't know how I would be able to contact.
Mr. Sigby, what's your opinion on that?
Well, yeah, I don't want no improper service here, you know, Michigan. Michigan,
Let's
If there's
see
gonna
what
be
we're
an
on
issue
at.
with
How do you
service.
want it? How do you want it provided to you?
I will meet up with him at a conference. I'd like to have a conference with the prosecutor.
Well, you're
Well,
gonna
it says so.
schedule that.
Michigan State Constitution, let me pull up paperwork.
No.
and just-
No, stop. All we're talking about, I'm not talking about conferences right now. I'm just talking about getting discovery to people. So if the prosecutor's office, you know what? No, we'll do it this way. It's the only other thing we can do is I'm going to move the PCC. We're gonna have a PCC on August 28th, 2025 at 11 o'clock a.m. That will be to exchange discovery. Okay. So that way we can do it here in the courtroom. There won't be any questions about it. I don't want to put any staff member in a precarious position being accused of things that not delivering things or something along those lines. I don't want to put anybody in that position. So we'll just come back here on August 28th, 2025, 11 o'clock a.m. We'll have a very brief probable cause conference, and that will only be to exchange discovery. If there are any other issues in regards to discovery, we can talk about them too. And then we'll also have another PCC on the 11th. That will give you opportunity.
That answered my next question. That did answer my next question.
Okay.
Okay, because I
Okay.
just want opportunity, and I do object to the prosecutor using the pro se. I'm not pro se, I'm sui juris.
Sure.
Thank you.
However you want to say. Representing yourself, sui juris, pro se,
Myself,
On
I'm not
myself.
Civil War II, so I'm not a civil dead.
presenting
Child
myself,
justice.
all those things. They don't mean the same thing. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Okay, thanks.
All right, y'all. So that's the end of the proceeding. Very interesting proceeding. Mr. Sigsby, he made some, serious arguments and accusations. But Judge Hammond, at the end of the day, she was not going for it. She brought up, she said something about not accusing him of committing treason, but she called this whole argument nonsense. And I know that had to be a slap in the face to Mr. Sigsby, but he doesn't consider himself pro se, considers himself sui juris, and I looked it up, and it pretty much means to handles one's own affairs. So I guess pro se means to legally represent yourself, and sui juris means just to handle your own affairs. All right. So he's going to be back in court on August 28th. I guess that's going to be a short proceeding, and then he'll be back in court actually on 9/11, September 11th. I'll be bringing both of those proceedings to you. So please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you get notified when I upload more videos. All right. This is Carl from Sovereign Citizen Chronicles. I'll catch you on the next proceeding. God bless. Peace.